Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the channel, and I am here for an album review. Now, this is a throwback review, of course not for a newer release or anything. This is more like a throwback review, and for this review, I'm going to be talking about the band Alice in Chains, who is my favorite grunge band, and as of now, the only grunge band that I'm into. I would like to look more into Soundgarden, though. That is a band that does pique my interest. But as of right now, Alice in Chains is the only grunge band that I'm currently into. So the album I'll be reviewing from them is their album, Dirt. So either this album or Facelift is my favorite Alice in Chains album. It's really hard to say because they're both excellent albums. I mean, I have my days where I do like this album more, and I have my days where I do like Facelift more. And the thing is with the two albums, there's not really a weak song on either of the albums. I mean, the Lane Staley era of Alice in Chains is like insanely strong. Like some albums that are like near masterpieces, I think, came from the 90s and the Lane Staley era of the band, of course. But this album is fantastic. I mean, there's no going wrong with this album for sure. Definitely an essential album to own if you're any kind of fan of grunge music or hard rock. I mean, definitely check out this album and pick up the album too, because it's really great. Now, if you're new here, I normally don't go over every single song whenever I do album reviews, so keep that in mind. I mainly just go over the highlights and, you know, go through my favorites and just get the overall feel of the album pretty much. So yeah. The album does start off with Them Bones, which is a fairly straightforward track and very straight to the point. I mean, at the very start, it just really packs a punch. I mean, the energy is really strong in this song, and Lane Staley, you know, sounds like he's giving it his all in this song. So it's just a short song that just gets the job done very well, I think. And of course, one of the biggest Alice in Chains songs and one of the biggest songs in grunge, Down in a Hole. This is a great song. I mean, nobody does it better than Alice in Chains. And the reason I say that is because this song has been covered by so many bands, like, of course, In Flames. In Flames' cover of that song is just terrible. Now, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not that great at all, really. I don't care for it whatsoever. I know Demon Hunter also covered that song, which is, of course, better than In Flames' cover. Now, the Demon Hunter version, I think it's alright. It's not, you know, amazing or anything, but I think it's okay, though. It's an okay, I think they covered it pretty decently, but, I mean, again, nobody does it better than, you know, the originators, Alice in Chains. But yeah, definitely a great song, very emotional, kind of has a depressing feel to it. I mean, I do like the mood of this song overall, and it's pretty catchy, and it's one of those songs that are just very memorable in hard rock and grunge, and yeah, I can see why it's a hit, for sure. And then Rooster, I really like the instrumentation in this song. And then you got Angry Chair, which is, you know, full of energy. This is another song that really packs a punch, and yeah, I just love the aggression in this song. I mean, it's really great. And then, of course, the closing track, Wood, definitely one of my favorites on this album. I mean, definitely a great song, and probably one of my favorite Alice in Chains songs. I just love the emotion, the aggression, and the way the song is structured overall. Like, at the start, it's fairly melodic and has these riffs that are just like, wow. Pretty melodic riffs, and I don't know, I love the way that the song starts, how it's more soft, like more on the calm side, and then at the end of the song, by the time you get to the end of that song, I mean, the aggression really picks up. I mean, with Lane Staley really giving it his all. And it's just a well-structured song that's just very enjoyable. I never get tired of it. And yeah, it's an excellent album closer, and I think it's maybe my favorite album closer from Alice in Chains. Maybe. I don't know. I think Alice in Chains usually does a good job of closing off their albums, but yeah, this album, it's great. So as a score, I'll have to give this album Probably a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, it's definitely a great album. Sure, it's not a 10, but a 9.5 is still very, very strong. I could have given this album a 10, and like I said, even though I don't think that there's a weak song on this album, there are obviously, like with any album, some songs that are just better than others, of course. You know, the second half of this album is really strong, though. I mean, of course, with Angry Chair and Wood, these are excellent tracks and probably some of Alice in Chains' best songs. So yeah, the thing is with this album, I think the first half is equally as good as the second half. And the second half might even be better considering the two songs I just mentioned, which are just fantastic. But I don't know, it's really hard to say, but Dirt, it's definitely a great album. Please check out this album if you haven't already. And yeah, I think it's a great album. So there you have it, guys. That is my review for Dirt by Alice in Chains. Let me know what you guys think of this album. Have you heard this album? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Take care.